The story of the Sith starts long before the rise of Darth Sidious or the fall of Anakin Skywalker. The Sith weren't always an evil organization or a secret cult. Originally, they were an ancient species from the desert world of Korriban. The Sith species was characterized by their innate connection to the dark side of the Force. They were a warrior culture, with power, control, and conquest central to their existence. But the Sith didn't stay isolated on Korriban for long. In roughly 6900 BBY, a group of exiled Dark Jedi, who had been cast out of the Jedi Order, discovered Korriban and encountered the Sith species. Over time, the Dark Jedi would corrupt the Sith people, teaching them their ways. Through this intermingling, the Sith Lords emerged, Force wielders who rejected the Jedi Code and embraced the dark side. With their newfound power, these Sith Lords formed the first Sith Empire. This early Sith Empire was built on conquest and a desire to overthrow the Republic. But their attempts at galactic domination weren't without their challenges. In 5000 BBY, the Sith, under the leadership of Naga Sadow, launched the Great Hyperspace War. The Sith Empire, after centuries of building power, sought to strike at the heart of the Galactic Republic. Their goal was simple: conquer and rule. The Sith amassed a fleet of ships and warriors, ready to crush the Republic. At the same time, the Jedi were unprepared for the full-scale war they were about to face. However, the Sith's reign was not to be. The Great Hyperspace War ended in a resounding defeat for the Sith. The Republic, bolstered by its Jedi forces, fought back fiercely. Though the Sith inflicted serious damage, they were ultimately driven back, their empire shattered. Despite their defeat, the Sith would not disappear. Instead, they would regroup and plan for future conquests. The Sith Empire would rise again, this time under two of the most powerful Sith Lords in history, Exar Kun and Ulic Qel-Droma. The Great Sith War, which began around 5000 BBY, was marked by the emergence of these two figures who sought to bring the Sith back to power. Exar Kun was once a Jedi Knight but, seduced by the dark side, he declared himself a Sith Lord. Kun led a large-scale campaign against the Republic and the Jedi, hoping to turn the tide in favor of the Sith. Ulic Qel-Droma, also a former Jedi, became Kun's ally, and together, they formed the core of a renewed Sith Empire. Under their leadership, the Sith nearly succeeded in overthrowing the Republic. Their war against the Jedi was brutal, and for a time, the Sith held the upper hand. But ultimately, their empire crumbled. Exar Kun's pursuit of ultimate power led to his downfall, and Ulic's own tragic redemption resulted in the destruction of the Sith Empire once again. The Sith were dealt a crushing blow, but their defeat was not the end. After centuries of instability, infighting, and broken empires, the Sith finally found a philosophy that would allow them to survive. That philosophy came from one Sith Lord, Darth Bane. Around 1000 BBY, Darth Bane realized the root cause of the Sith's failures: too many Sith. Infighting and rivalry had torn apart previous Sith empires. To fix this, Bane instituted the rule of two. There would always be just two Sith at any given time, one to embody the power of the dark side, and the other to crave it. The rule of two didn't lead to immediate power for the Sith, but it did allow them to survive in the shadows. The Sith became a secretive order, biding their time and waiting for the right moment to strike. Under the rule of two, the Sith would slowly infiltrate the political system of the Republic, manipulating events from behind the scenes. The Sith's return to power culminated with the rise of Darth Sidious, also known as Emperor Palpatine. Sidious, a master manipulator, hid his Sith identity by posing as a humble politician in the Galactic Republic. Through cunning and deception, he gradually rose to the position of Chancellor, gaining control of the Republic's political systems. Simultaneously, Sidious manipulated events that led to the outbreak of the Clone Wars, a conflict that would pit the Republic against the Separatists. This galactic war, engineered by Sidious, gave him the perfect opportunity to consolidate his power. The Republic, on the verge of destruction, needed a savior, and Sidious offered himself as the man who could restore order. Through a series of well-timed manipulations, Sidious declared himself emperor, officially transforming the Republic into the Galactic Empire. With his newfound power, Sidious took control of the galaxy, ordering the annihilation of the Jedi Order and instituting a brutal dictatorship. The Sith had achieved what they had long desired, galactic domination. But as with all Sith endeavors, their rule was short-lived. Despite their immense power, the Sith were undone by their own hubris and internal strife. The very nature of the Sith, based on betrayal and the desire for ultimate power, was their downfall. In Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader, once the Jedi Anakin Skywalker, turned on his master, Darth Sidious, and brought about the collapse of the Empire. The Sith were no more. However, their legacy endured. The remnants of the Sith Empire, though crushed, lived on through the stories of those who had suffered under their rule. The lessons of the Sith, the dangers of unchecked ambition and the corruption of absolute power, remained ingrained in the galaxy's history. The rise and fall of the Sith serves as a cautionary tale. Power, when pursued without compassion or restraint, is a force that consumes both those who wield it and those who are ruled by it. The Sith may no longer rule the galaxy, but their influence lingers. Their rule was not just a chapter in galactic history, it was a testament to the dangerous allure of power and control. In the end, the Sith's reign was not built to last. Their ambition was their greatest strength, and their greatest weakness. They achieved galactic power, but in doing so, they sowed the seeds of their own destruction. The galaxy, though free of their rule for now, will always remember the darkness the Sith once cast over it.
And really fast, guys, if you have been looking for travel, check out the link below. Want to travel but don't know where to start, or forced to spend excruciating amount on hotel bills because you did not know where to start or started late? Then the travel website Expedia has you covered. Expedia offers a streamlined view of all travel arrangements, and they even compare prices. They even have sections with things to do and car rentals. They also have price comparisons that give the total amount to help you plan for your trip. They even have a cancellation option on some purchases. Check out the link below. Every purchase helps support our channel. Please check out the link.